Go for it.
We are back online to talk about some of the best newcomers that we believe have joined new NBA teams here. But first, before I
And,
go any
and you are?
further, I am Fauzi. This is Nick. Oh, please, would you like to introduce us again?
No, you've got
Oh,
it.
I
That
got
was
it. I
great.
got it. Great.
We're two guys of spare time, and we are talking about some off-season additions and really just short, sharp headlines here. This is the best newcomer to a team. This
Yep,
is the worst newcomer to a team,
correct.
and this is the biggest loss that a team suffered this off-season. So you wanted to start us off with we going good? We going the best
We're
newcomer to a
starting with
team?
best one. This is just best ones, right? Top three best ones. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, cool. Easy. I'll start with number one. Do you want to go me three in a row or we got to take turns here? What do you reckon?
Go three in a row. I
Okay,
think it
cool.
allows you to generate some
All
momentum.
right, cool. Number one, best newcomer to a team. Drum roll. We need a drum roll here. All right, I'll put the audio in. Josh Giddey to the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, we just talked about this kid a little while ago. All right, I think this is a great step for Josh Giddey. Full stop. Okay, and I'm talking about Josh Giddey. Yeah, and I'm talking about the Chicago Bulls. Okay, because hell, they should have kept DeMar DeRozan and kept Josh Giddey. Yeah, and brought Josh Giddey over. Because you actually alluded to this before. Yeah, you said Josh Giddey looks a little bit like Lonzo Ball. Oh, well, yeah, no doubt. Probably taller and no doubt healthier and probably rebounds better. Probably doesn't shoot as well, okay, but he does a lot of good things. It almost feels like, well, this happens all the time, doesn't it, man? Like a team moves a piece, then brings in a piece, and then you sometimes go, I wish we had both pieces. And if that could have happened, it would have been really nice. So the Bulls have always had all this potential, and Josh Giddey has come in now, and I think he's a key to unlocking it all because he's a point guard. I don't know why he's a SG sometimes in fantasy land right now, but he's a point guard that can give you easily 10 assists a game, all right, if not more, along with other things that besides lots of shooting, okay, that he does really good, okay? And I think Josh Giddey is a huge addition here for the Bulls. Number two, all right, you're gonna like this one here. Tyus Jones to the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I think he is a great pickup here for your guys. You guys needed a point guard. Hey, is it crazy? I'm just talking about point guards right now. Yeah, but you guys so important. Isn't the point guard role in an NBA team potentially the most critical one? Yeah. Okay. At least from an organizational perspective. Yeah. Often point guards don't actually have a lot of stats. Like some guys do. Okay. But not that they're not always glamorous stats. But a point guard, a floor general that can come on for your team or start for your team that gets your offense organized, gets everyone touching the ball, and you know, gets your game rolling. Okay, I think that is so important. I think you guys have found that in Tyus Jones there. Hopefully, you put the ball in his hands to do that. That's the catch. Okay, and you guys can play your other superstars off the ball a little bit to begin with in that sort of sense. I'm sure Book will get a chance to run the one and Beal as well and other players. Okay, but at least to open a game, okay, I think that's going to be a real positive. Okay, if you guys can integrate Tyus Jones into what you guys already do there in your offense. The last one here is Isaiah Hartenstein to the OKC Thunder, man. If this is not on someone's radar, this is a great signing. Even better than the Alex Caruso one. Alex Caruso is a bonus, man. Alex Caruso is like a free gift that you receive from the mall, yeah, because I don't know, you just wanted to get rid of that other player, right? Yeah, which obviously was Kitty, which is ironic, but Isaiah Hartenstein fills a specific need, sorry, for the Thunder that I spoke about last season, where they needed a big, solid center to play alongside or behind Chet, and now they filled that need. All right, it was a perfect hole that they went and filled. Yeah, teams always have holes. Yeah, whether it's lacking a point guard, lacking a shooter, lacking a big man. Yeah, whatever it is. Okay, and I think the Thunder now already a 60-win team have went and filled that hole perfectly. All right, with a role player that knows what he can do and what he can't do, and what he can do is exactly what the Thunder need, man. Those are my three names.
I like it. I had two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one of them because I feel very strongly about it, and I'm going to drop the other one. So I'm going 3-1 just to really build the hype a little bit. So I'm going to stick with uh, DeMar DeRozan to the Sacramento Kings. I'm seeing this move be lamented. I'm seeing it being heavily criticized and a lot of things. And a lot of people feel like it is a mid range shooter who's going to take the ball away from Fox and keep some floor spacing down. I guess what I'm going for here, maybe I'm feeling really optimistic, but I think people forget the last time DeMar DeRozan changed teams, and it was a short window and it wasn't him alone. But he almost led the Bulls to like the comeback story of the decade, where they were the number one seed, giving everybody a legitimate run for their money. And he looked like an MVP candidate. Now, yes, he is older, and yes, some things have changed, but you look at the context of what he's going into, right? When he went to Chicago, he teamed up with Lonzo Ball, Nikola Vucevic, and Zach LaVine, right? So a pass first point guard and a big that was offensively minded. He's joining He's joining a team with a big that is an upgrade over Vucevic, who is offensively minded, and a point guard who isn't as pass first as Lonzo Ball, but also is pretty good at running the floor and maybe can give it out to him on the kick. I really like the addition because he's a veteran on a team that is kind of on that cusp of can they be good, can they not be good, and it's why I'm putting them there. I understand that people feel like the money's too long and the contract's too thing. I think the contract situation in multiple years, unless you end up with a Ben Simmons on your hand, with a guy who refuses to play or doesn't play, you can usually trade off these contracts in those final years. We saw it with Chris Paul, right? He was owed 40 million in that last season, and they ended up just buying it out and doing all these things. I really like that acquisition for them. Number two is Isaiah Hartenstein, like you said. And the reason why I'm putting it here because you didn't touch on this point, and I really wanted to touch on this point. Sometimes when you add a player to your team, it isn't always about them, it's about what it does to the people around them. And so, what it does to the people around them, you were alluding to it, but you didn't capture it completely. Chet was playing center for their playoff series, and that was not tenable. And they were legitimately, that was their hole, and they made it all the way to the semi-conference finals, right? And they really were competitive with Dallas, probably the most competitive that they were in the West. And they could have been something different if they could have matched the bigs from Dallas. And they've done that, right? But it's not only that, it also allows Chet to play more of that stretch role because I think that's what he wanted to do on offense. A lot of his blocks weren't straight up, they were always helped in, kind of, coming out of nowhere. I'm really excited to see what the duo now does, not just Isaiah Hartenstein. And then number one for me, it's Carl Anthony Towns. Clearly, I have an invested interest in Carl Anthony Towns, and I think I've been harsh on this guy before. But one thing that was stumbling up, and this is the joys of the internet. There's some real fanatics out there that research things for you. His best season prior to like now was actually under Don Thibodeau. So he's rejoined a coach that brought success out of him when he was in Minnesota, and that was a couple of years ago, right? And he's joined a team, he's joined a culture, he's joined an environment that's pretty serious, right? Very team orientated, very defensive orientated, and it clearly has high expectations because that is what the Knicks are walking into. They needed a center, especially after losing Hartenstein that we just referenced, and with Mitchell Robinson being so injured or so intermittent in his playing. I'm really excited to see what Cat's going to do here. Also, because the reason why it's one of the best acquisitions or the most important acquisitions is because this is the Knicks, right? The Knicks were flirting with, oh, they're a really exciting team. They're an underdog team. I wonder if they could make the Eastern Conference Finals. I wonder if they can make the NBA Finals. They've now committed to this is our identity. This is who we want to be. This is what we're trying to do. And the Mikal Bridges signing was a good feel good, reuniting the college buddy storyline. This is the acquisition where if this works, this is legitimately going to make them a contender. And if it doesn't work, then no good. But you have to be in it to win it.
You have to win it to win it. Check out our next video with all the worst newcomers, I guess, to our teams, right?